A Fox News host was abruptly kicked out of a local restaurant by the owner who apparently disagreed with his conservative political beliefs in this classic clip. Hello and welcome back to Resist the Mainstream. As we flash back, I'm Steve Inman reporting the news the mainstream won't. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and of course hit the notification bell to stay up to date with more of the classic content we're about to witness. Well, you remember the shocking story, and if you didn't, it took place last year when an African-American Fox journalist, Gianno Caldwell, stopped at a local restaurant with some friends where he was immediately harassed about his affiliation with Fox and details pertaining to his job. When Caldwell began to speak openly about his conservative beliefs, it wasn't long before trouble arose.
Well, I got to tell you, Maria, I never thought I would make international news for being a Florida man kicked out of a restaurant over my conservative values, but that's exactly what happened. But what happened is some friends of mine, some people that I'm just getting to know that live in my building, invited me off to this Paradise Books and Breads. Never been there, never heard of it. I go in, they're immediately asking me questions. How do you like working over at Fox News? Are you a conservative? And I say, yes, I am. Actually, I have a book out called Taken for Granted, How Conservatism Can Win Back the Americans Liberalism Had Failed. Get the book. And we talked about my brother, how he was murdered in Chicago last year in June, last month or yesterday made 7 months since he's been murdered. And a number of other issues like my pro-life stance, about progressive DAs who are exacerbating the crime issue. And the owner comes over to the table and says, I've been listening to your conversation. You are not welcomed here. And I said, oh, wow, did I say something that triggered you? She said, no, we are not politically aligned. I don't feel comfortable. You have to leave. I own this place.
I remember these tweets. I remember he was angry. Everybody was supporting him as well. According to Caldwell, he noticed the restaurant owner had been eyeing him all night, making dirty looks and gesturing discomfort towards him. Before long, the owner approached Caldwell at his table and told him that he had been listening to his conversation and that he was no longer welcome there. Wow, that's pretty racist. That's what a Democrat would say, right? But the tables have turned, so he's not a racist, I guess. Caldwell recalled being shell-shocked as he could not believe that he was actually being escorted out over his political affiliations, as it had never happened to him before. Needless to say, Caldwell was thoroughly offended and questioned the racist undertones of the woman's frustration.
I am disturbed what I'm seeing from folks, and I think this is a microcosm of what we're seeing across the country.
Well, it is. How many people were you in the group? I mean, were you talking loudly? I mean,
it was a total of 5 of us, including a woman. So, they've made things like, oh, yeah, we didn't like what they said about women and something about eugenics or something like that. And I'm telling them I'm pro-life. Like, what is it that made you feel uncomfortable? I imagine it did, because for some on the left, intolerance has become the norm, not the exception. So they want you to capitulate to all of their views, no matter what it is. But if you say, I believe in God, and I talked about my faith in God while I was there as well, if you say that I'm pro-life, then it's a problem. There's a target on your back. And let alone, don't let you be black and saying these things. You got to go, because you are now someone who's an enemy to your race. And that's how a lot of these liberal left-leaning people think. It is extraordinarily reprehensible. And I am thankful that since this is all taking place, that they've shut their doors down at least into next month. But I think there should be a real investigation into this, because this shouldn't happen to anyone. And I imagine if I didn't have the platform that I have, if I didn't work at Fox News, no one would know about it, no one would care, and they would get away with this. I imagine how many other restaurants across the country are doing this exact thing. If I was white and I was saying these things, that they would be so alarmed and put me out. I just can't imagine that. As soon as I started talking about conservatism, the lady who apparently was the owner, because I'm always looking around in my surroundings. I'm always watching my surroundings because I work for Fox and, I'm a well-known person. So I'm always watching in case somebody may be recording me or somebody might be on an attack. And she continued to give me very nasty looks from the moment that I mentioned conservatism.
Wow.
That's not okay.
Unfortunately, some people form predisposed opinions of people based on their looks, race, and ethnicity. This is the definition of racism. Often it's the very people who would swear they are activists against racism that hold these prejudiced beliefs. In this case, it seems Caldwell didn't fit the image the restaurant owner had made for him, so it led her to believe to be disrespectful and stubborn to him. You think Caldwell's case was racially motivated? Let us know in the comments below. Maybe it was just she doesn't like conservatives, and it made her feel like she had an excuse to say whatever she wanted. Once again, I'm Steve Inman with Resist the Mainstream, reporting the news that the mainstream won't. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and of course, hit that notification bell for more updates on classic videos we just seen. Thanks again.